Hi friends. This is a altar that I'm sharing with you as an idea for something that you can create for the first day of 2019. So, one thing I would mention is to not overthink it and go with your own guidance and intuition. But one key piece is to have ideally a stone in the center that represents you. And I'm actually going to be using this beautiful clear quartz that we are able to um, encode with information. Can't get a good shot of that. But my plan is to share my intentions and my dreams and what I'm wanting to bring into my life for 2019. And so I will recreate this when I'm at my home because I want to work with this grid over the coming months. I don't. It will tell me when it's finished, so it could be for a month. It could be for 9 months or 12. I don't know at this point, but it will be in the center of my grid. And I also this piece of Amazonite was speaking loudly that it wanted to be included in the Jade Purity lineage, which is some very kind of foundational materia medica from a Taoist stone medicine lineage that I studied with Sarah Thomas, my teacher, when I was in North Carolina. Amazonite helps us with trusting in the divine and making that choice between fear or faith. And it's a stone that I've worked with off and on for the past, year and a half, because I'm still working through some of my big challenges of being seen in my work, which my plan for this year is to step into it in a even larger, bigger way, and to trust in these desires that I have, that I can actually bring them to fruition. I seem to not have a problem in other aspects, but there are a couple of areas in my life that I'm still working on. So I felt called to have that be included in the center of my grid. Carnelian's another stone that I have worked with. It's actually been a huge catalyst for me in primarily in bringing aspects of myself back. So ways that I've given my power away. It's also a stone that I typically use on a heart point in between the breasts. I typically do a lot of heart treatments for everyone, including myself. So still healing heartache, still releasing grief, trusting to be vulnerable, and which can be really scary, especially in intimate relationships, at least for me. So just, I think of it primarily as being in our power. And then I also have a few pieces of garnet. These are all from North Carolina. It's representative of Shakti and juicy energy and builds the blood, but it's also connected with wealth and manifestation. And a couple of pieces of mica, which if you saw my other video are stones that I use quite frequently. And then there's a piece of clear quartz bridging these two, and then quartz on the outside drawing energy into the center of this grid. There's lots of ways that you can build grids. They don't have to be in a circular form. There is too much information to even really begin to go into this right now. But I will have a series in the coming months to help with grids. Or I definitely recommend you visit Sarah Thomas's website, which I believe is upperclarity.com. But she has a fantastic video on working with grids if that's something that you feel called to do. So I would definitely recommend that you check that out. And so just wanted to share quickly my activation. So as I said, I'm going to be infusing this crystal, this beautiful quartz crystal, with my intentions for this year. And then I'll have it living in the center of my grid. You also can activate with sound. So singing bowls, tuning forks. This is a beautiful vintage set that I was gifted from a dear friend of mine right before I left Bloomington. And so I'm going to activate it with sound. But before I do that, I'm going to clear the space. I do have some Palo Santo in here, but I tend to use evergreens often. So cedar and pine are often my go-to for clearing space. So you can do that beforehand, you can do that afterwards, you can do that anytime that you just feel like your space or the grid needs some activation. So as I said, you can also do that with sound. I know Sarah mentions in her video that you can do it with sunlight to recharge it and activate it. I always recommend going with your intuition. So even if you don't know, just listen to yourself. And maybe some of you need to figure out how you receive information first. I'm going to have videos addressing all of this in the coming months. So I invite you to subscribe to my YouTube channel or follow me on social media or sign up for my newsletter so that you can stay informed about those. So, I wish you a beautiful 2019. I wish you to know your truth and to know your magic, to feel hope and freedom, to heal any grief and heartache so that you can open more to self-love and compassion and love for others. So I'm going to finish with some channeling to help clear your being and offer a transmission. And I call this in for all that are connected in and listening. May you know your truth. Warikarada saroshodnyane ayarodon adeyayaradiyo